Viewer discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to Crime Films, the channel where we explore the most shocking and intriguing stories of crime and justice. Today we're going to tell you the story of two people who share the same name, but have very different fates. Dominique Davis. One Dominique Davis was a 40-year-old woman from Las Vegas who went missing in Memphis, Tennessee, and was later found dead near an overpass. The other Dominic Davis was an 11-year-old boy from Cincinnati, Ohio, who was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting near a playground. Both of these cases remain unsolved, and both of these families are still seeking answers. How did these two tragedies happen? Who were the suspects and the witnesses? What are the clues and the challenges in solving these crimes? And what can we learn from these heartbreaking stories? Join us as we investigate the cases of both of the Dominique Davis. Our first story begins on December 30th, 2023. Dominique Davis, a 40-year-old woman from Las Vegas, arrived in Memphis, Tennessee to visit her boyfriend. She was originally from Memphis, but had moved to Las Vegas a few years ago to pursue a career in the entertainment industry. She was a singer, a dancer, and a model who had performed in various shows and events. She was also a mother of two children who stayed with her parents in Memphis. Dominique Davis was last seen on the night of December 30th in the Summer Avenue and High Point Terrace area where her boyfriend lived. She had left his apartment around 10 p.m., saying that she was going to meet some friends. She never returned, and she never contacted her family or her boyfriend again. Her family reported her missing on January 1st, 2024, after she failed to show up for church, which was unusual for her. They also noticed that her phone was turned off, and that her social media accounts were inactive. They feared that something bad had happened to her, and that she might have been abducted or harmed by someone.
Tonight, the sister of Dominic Davis says her family is hurting.
It's like a link out of the chain is missing, But after a certain time, my mama just kept saying she had a bad feeling in her stomach. She was like, something not right. I've lost a child before, and, she just kept saying something not right.
The family has spent the last few days looking for Davis, putting up signs in the area where she was last seen, and says they were notified of the tragic news by police.
Officially on yesterday.
The Memphis Police Department launched a search for Dominique Davis and asked the public for any information or tips that could help locate her. They also checked her phone records, her bank accounts, and her social media activity, but found no clues or leads. They said that they had no suspects or persons of interest in the case, and that they were treating it as a missing person case, not a homicide. However, on January 4th, 2024, the worst news came. Dominique Davis was found dead near the overpass at Sam Cooper Boulevard and High Point Terrace, not far from where she was last seen. Her body was badly decomposed and showed signs of trauma. The cause and manner of death were not immediately determined, but the police said that they were investigating it as a homicide. As of today, the case of Dominique Davis remains unsolved. The police have not identified any suspects or motives and have not released any details about the evidence or the autopsy. They have also not confirmed if her death was related to her disappearance, or if it was a random act of violence. They've only said that they are still working on the case, and that they need more information from the public. Who killed Dominique Davis, and why? What happened to her in the 4 days that she was missing? Where did she go, and who did she meet? How did her body end up near the overpass? And why has no one come forward with any information? These are the questions that haunt the family and friends of Dominique Davis, and the investigators who are trying to solve her case. They hope that one day they will find the answers and the justice that they deserve. Our second story takes us to Cincinnati, Ohio, where another Dominic Davis lived. He was an 11-year-old boy who loved to play basketball, video games, and music. He was a 6th grader at Mount Airy Elementary School, where he was a good student and a popular kid. He was also a big brother to his younger sister and a son to his single mother.
The issue of not only gun violence, but children losing their lives to that gun violence. Thanks so much for being with us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Tanya O'Rourke.
And I'm Craig McKee. An 11-year-old gunned down in a barrage of bullets in the West End. There are 5 others shot, 4 of them children. No solutions, no suspects, only frustration and grief for so many involved tonight. Tanya, you're out at CPD headquarters and on top of this story for us tonight.
Thank you, Craig. I am. And police are on day 3 of the search for the person or people behind Friday's mass shooting. So I've been out here in the West End all day visiting the shooting scene, the memorial for those victims. And I also talked with Chief Teresa Thigi about the efforts to find these suspects. She says they've been working at this day and night. Investigators tell us 22 shots were fired from a dark sedan into a crowd of adults and children who were playing near Bent Drive in the West End. Now, those bullets hit and killed 11-year-old Dominic Davis. The other shot, a 12-year-old boy, a 13-year-old boy, 2 15-year-olds, and a 53-year-old woman. Police have not said which person is still hospitalized, but the police chief told me it is a boy who is in serious condition.
Dominic Davis was shot and killed while he was playing at a playground near his home. He was with his sister and his cousin when a car drove by and opened fire at them. Dominic Davis was hit in the chest and died at the scene. His sister and his cousin were not injured but were traumatized by the incident. Was at work when she received the call that her son had been shot. She rushed to the scene and collapsed in grief when she saw her son's body. She said that he was a sweet and innocent child who had nothing to do with any violence or gangs. She said that he was just playing at the playground, like any other kid would do on a summer day.
Dominic's father, Isaac Davis, spoke to the community about the violence that took the life of his son. Here's what he had to say.
When would this stop? Would this ever stop? Like, how many people have to bury their kids, their babies, their loved ones? Like, look at his mother. Look at me. I mean, you know, you're not gonna realize it until someone happens to your family, until it happens to you. I'm just asking anybody that know anything to come forward, please. Just please come forward. We're begging. I don't know what else to say, but just please come forward.
The Cincinnati Police Department launched a homicide investigation and asked the public for any information or tips that could help identify the shooter. They also released a description of the suspect vehicle, which was a dark-colored sedan with tinted windows and a loud exhaust. They said that they believed that the shooting was a case of mistaken identity and that Dominic Davis was not the intended target. However, another shooting occurred in the same area, where a 19-year-old man was killed and a 17-year-old girl was wounded. The police said that they suspected that the 2 shootings were related and that they were part of an ongoing feud between 2 rival gangs. They said that they had identified some persons of interest but had not made any arrests. Dominic Davis's family was outraged by the news and demanded justice for him. They said that he was not involved in any gang activity and that he was a victim of senseless violence. They also said that they wanted the shooter to be caught and punished and that they wanted the gang war to stop. They said that they did not want any more innocent lives to be lost. As of today, the case of Dominic Davis remains unsolved. The police have not arrested or charged anyone in connection with his shooting and have not released any updates on the case. They have only said that they are still working on the case and that they need more information from the public.
Over the week to help students who had trouble grappling with the violent death of an 11-year-old classmate.
We're all trying to find ways to heal, and this was just one of the ways to try and help our children move forward and heal. It's a long process.
Dominic will be buried Friday morning, a full week after the shooting rocked the West End.
Our kids, they're numb to this. They hear gunshots and ambulance every night.
Buried 5 days after the calls of a grieving father. 4 days after we sat one-on-one with Police Chief Teresa Thigi, who promised justice.
We will find out who's responsible for this, so it'd be in their best interest to just turn themselves in.
Police have released no information on a suspected shooter, and the gunman remains at large.
Services for Dominic Davis begin at 10 a.m. at New Prospect Baptist Church in Roselawn. Sean Delancey, WCPO 9 News.
Who shot Dominic Davis and why? What was the motive and the trigger for the shooting? Who were the other victims and the suspects in the second shooting? How did the gang feud start and escalate? And what can be done to prevent and end the violence? These are the questions that haunt the family and friends of Dominic Davis and the investigators who are trying to solve his case. They hope that one day they will find the answers and the justice that they deserve. Thank you for watching Crime Films. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more true crime stories. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious.